Rian had spent years trying to forget the sound of war. After leaving the human military, he traveled far from busy planets, far from noise, far from anything that reminded him of battles. He finally found a quiet frontier outpost on the edge of space, where the days were slow and the nights were peaceful. Here, there were no commanders shouting orders, no alarms, no danger. Just small metal buildings, long, dusty roads, and tired workers who liked silence as much as he did. Rian took a simple job repairing old cargo vehicles. It was boring work, but it kept his mind steady. People in the outpost knew he was a veteran, but they never asked about his past. They respected his wish to stay quiet. Life was simple, until the day the sky tore open with fire. Everyone in the outpost ran outside when they saw a massive ship descending. It was shaped like a crescent moon, black and silver, with blue engines that glowed like stars. No one recognized the design. Then came the whispers. Dragon Empire. Why are they here? Stay back. Rian stood at the edge of the crowd. He had seen dragon ships before, but only in war documents. Dragons were powerful, proud, and very selective about where they went. They never visited small places like this. Something felt wrong. The ship landed with a deep metallic thud, and the entire ground shook. A ramp lowered slowly, letting out steam that curled around everyone's legs. The crowd stepped back in fear. Rian stayed still, watching carefully. Then she appeared. A giant dragon woman walked down the ramp. She was taller than any human, maybe twice Rian's height, with scales that shimmered deep blue and silver in the sunlight. Her wings were folded behind her back, sharp and strong, and her eyes glowed like molten gold. She was dressed in dark armor, but even with all her strength, she moved with surprising calm. People around Rian whispered, "Don't get too close. Dragons don't come here for peace. Someone is in trouble." But the dragon woman did not look angry. She did not roar. She did not threaten. Instead, she stopped in the center of the outpost and looked around slowly. Her gaze finally landed on Rian. He felt a strange chill run down his spine. He had never seen a dragon stare so directly at anyone, especially a simple mechanic like him. He did not move, wondering if stepping back would be rude or dangerous. The dragon woman took a deep breath and began walking toward him. People quickly moved aside, clearing a wide path. They stared at Rian with shock, as if he had done something terrible without knowing. Rian tried to stay calm, but his heartbeat was fast. He placed his tools down and lifted his hands slightly, showing he meant no harm. When she reached him, she lowered herself on one knee, making herself closer to his height. The entire outpost gasped in confusion. Dragons never knelt before humans. Rian blinked. "I think you have the wrong person." Her voice was deep, strong, and yet gentle. "No, I have searched for you." She bowed her head slightly. "Human veteran Rian Hale, I asked you a question of great importance." Rian froze. She knew his name. He had never met a dragon in his life. He did not even understand why they would care about a retired soldier hiding on a frontier outpost. "I'm listening," he said carefully. The dragon woman lifted her head, her golden eyes shining with something that looked like hope mixed with urgency. "Will you be my mate?" The entire outpost went silent. Someone dropped a metal toolbox. Another person whispered, "Did she just?" Someone else said, "Dragons are choosing humans now." The air felt heavy, stunned, impossible. Rian's mouth fell open. What? Dragons were known for their strong pride. For one to ask a human, especially a random veteran, to be a mate was unthinkable. Rian stumbled back a step. "Wait, I think you misunderstood." She shook her head. "I know what I ask. My people honor the one who stands beside us. A mate is a partner, a shield, a voice in our council." She paused. "You are the one I choose." Rian stared at her in disbelief. "We've never even met." The dragon woman lowered her gaze. "I know, but I watched the human war logs. I saw what you did, how you saved both humans and non-humans in conflict. You are a warrior who protects without hate. My empire needs a partner like that." Rian felt heat rise in his face, not from pride, but from confusion. He had done nothing special. He tried to live quietly. And now a powerful dragon warrior was asking him to stand beside her as her political partner? Her mate? That word was dangerous. People were already staring at him as if he had done something unbelievable. He shook his head slowly. I'm just a mechanic now. I don't want to be part of anything big. I don't want power. I don't want attention. Her golden eyes dimmed slightly, as if she had expected this, but still hoped for another answer. I understand your wish. But my people are on the edge of a great conflict. Choosing a human partner is the only way to stop it. If I return alone, I may lose my rank or be removed from my position completely. Rian looked at her. He could see that she wasn't lying. She was trying to protect her people. She was desperate enough to kneel in front of a human stranger just to ask for help. He rubbed the back of his neck, struggling to think. He didn't want to be involved. But he also couldn't ignore someone who had come all this way, risking everything. Finally, he sighed. Let's talk privately. I need to understand what's going on. The dragon woman nodded with relief. Thank you. My name is Seraph, and I will explain everything. As they walked toward her ship, the entire outpost watched in stunned silence, not knowing that the simple veteran's quiet life had ended the moment a dragon knelt before him. Inside the dragon ship, Rian felt very small. The halls were huge, built for bodies twice his size. The floors were smooth metal, the walls covered with glowing symbols that shifted softly like living light. The air smelled faintly of smoke and something sweet, maybe incense. Every step Rian took echoed loudly, while Seraph walked with quiet, powerful confidence. She led him into a wide room with a round table and tall windows that showed the dusty outpost below. The door closed behind them with a deep hum. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Rian tried to calm his heartbeat, but the shock of everything was still heavy. Finally, he sat down slowly. All right, he said in a steady voice. Start from the beginning. Why me? Why now? And what do you risk if I say no? Seraph folded her wings and sat across from him. Even sitting, she was taller than he was standing. Her golden eyes softened. My empire's divided, she began. 2 great families fight for control of the throne. I am heir to one side. The other wants war with humans because they believe your kind grows too quickly and threatens our borders. Rian frowned, but there's been peace for years. Yes, she said with a small nod, because my family believes peace is possible, but peace is fragile. Many young warriors whisper that humans are weak. They want to prove dragon strength by conquering outer colonies. She paused. I must show them another path, a stronger path. Rian crossed his arms. And that path is choosing a human mate. Seraph looked down for a moment. A mate is not only a partner. It is a symbol, a declaration. If I choose a human, I prove that humans are equals, not enemies. I prove that alliances are stronger than war. Her voice lowered. But choosing a human is forbidden unless the council approves. And they will not approve. She hesitated. Unless they believe the human brings great honor. Rian pointed to himself. You think I bring honor? Yes, she said simply. Your war record shows you saved civilians, dragon civilians, during the border conflict. Rian blinked. That can't be right. I never saved any dragons. Seraph shook her head. Not knowingly, one of the refugee transports you protected carried dragon children in disguise. You held a defense line long enough for them to escape. Her voice grew soft. One of those children was a young girl who is now a respected officer. She paused. She is my sister. Rian froze. No, that was years ago. I didn't even know who was on the transport. But you protected them anyway, Sarah said. Without knowing, without needing reward. That is why I chose you. Rian rubbed his face with both hands. Seraph, I'm just a retired soldier. I'm tired. I want peace. Her wings lowered slightly. I know, and I do not wish to pull you into battle again. But I came because I need someone strong enough to stand beside me without fear. Someone who sees dragons as people, not monsters. She met his eyes. You already proved that. Rian looked away, struggling with the pressure. A dragonair needing him? A war waiting in the shadows? A political bond that could change everything? He had no idea how to handle something this big. So if I say no, he asked quietly, what happens to you? Sereth hesitated. The opposing family will push for my removal. They will claim I am unfit to lead. If they win, her voice grew tight. A warrior named Merrick would take command. He hates humans. He believes dragons should rule the stars with force. And if he wins, Rian said, there will be a war. Yes. Rian leaned back in the chair, letting out a long breath. He didn't want this responsibility. He didn't want attention. But he couldn't ignore a plea for help. Not when lives were at risk. Sereth watched him carefully. I know this choice is heavy. I do not expect an answer today, but I ask for your help now. Come with me to the capital. Attend the council. Let them see your character. You do not need to accept the mate bond. Only stand beside me. Rian hesitated. Just stand beside you? For now, she said softly. Your presence alone may change their hearts. Rian thought about the outpost behind him. Quiet, dusty, safe. He thought about the war he left behind, the wounds he still carried. And he thought about a young dragon girl whose life he had saved without knowing. He sighed. If going with you helps prevent a war, then I'll go. Sereth's eyes brightened with relief. Thank you, Rian Hale. This means more than you know. They stood and walked back toward the exit of the room. But before the door opened, Sereth stopped and looked down at him again. One more thing, she said softly. The Empire will judge you. They will test you. Some will try to shame you, insult you, or provoke you. But remember this. She touched two claws lightly to her chest armor. I will stand beside you. You are not alone. Rian swallowed hard but nodded. Then let's do this. As they stepped out into the hallway, lights flickered to guide their path toward the main deck. Outside the ship, the outpost workers watched nervously. Rian took one last look at the quiet life he was leaving behind. The ramp rose. The engines hummed. And together, the human veteran and the dragon air lifted into the sky, toward a throne room that had no idea what was coming. The next morning came with a heavy fog around the palace, as if the sky knew something important was about to happen. Leo woke up early, nervous and excited. Today, the Dragon Council would test him. The council wanted to see if he was truly worthy to stay near Princess Arya, and if his strange power was a blessing or a danger. Arya walked with him through the long golden hallway. She moved slowly, her body still weak from the curse. But every time Leo touched her arm, the pain inside her reduced, and she walked a little stronger. She gave him a small smile. Do not worry, she whispered. I will be with you. Leo nodded, but his heart was beating fast. The hallway opened into a huge circular chamber with tall dragon statues carved from dark stone. The Dragon Council sat on raised thrones, their eyes sharp and unreadable. King Zephyr and Queen Lorana sat beside them, watching everything carefully. A deep voice echoed across the chamber. Leo stepped forward. He walked to the center. His palms were sweaty, and his mind kept replaying the moment he first healed Arya. He had never wanted power. He only wanted to fix engines, repair machines, and live a normal life. But destiny had chosen him for something far bigger. The first council member, an elder dragon with silver hair, lowered his gaze at Leo. You touched the dying heir of the dragon line, the elder said, and you healed her. No human has ever done this. Tell us how. Leo answered honestly. I don't know. I only wanted to help her. When I touched her, something inside me awakened. Another council member leaned forward. Magic does not awaken in humans without reason. There must be a connection, a purpose. Whispers moved through the room. Arya stepped closer, but the guard signaled her to stay back. The council announced the first trial. The floor in front of Leo glowed, and suddenly a large illusion formed. A dragon made of fire. It roared and rushed toward him, heat burning the air. Leo's instinct made him raise his hands to shield himself, but at the last second, something else happened. A soft blue light spread from his fingers and formed a barrier. The fire dragon hit the shield and vanished. The council watched with interest. Again, a voice ordered. This time, Several illusions attacked him together. One made of shadow, one made of stone, one made of lightning. Leo stumbled back. He had never used magic before. He didn't even know how to control it. But when fear rose inside him, the blue light returned, stronger than before. It surrounded him like a protective shell. The illusions dissolved one by one. Aria's eyes shined with pride. The king and queen exchanged curious looks. Leo took a deep breath, surprised he was still standing. But the council was not done. The second trial tested his courage. A long bridge appeared, floating over a deep, endless pit. The bridge shook with every step. In the middle of the pit, a gigantic phantom dragon with glowing red eyes lifted its head. Its tail wrapped around the base of the bridge, shaking it violently. "Walk across," the council ordered. Leo swallowed hard. He stepped onto the bridge. Each step made the wood creak loudly. The phantom dragon hissed, sending a blast of cold wind toward him. The bridge tilted. Leo fell to his knees, grabbing the edge before he slipped off. Aria covered her mouth. The queen stood, worried. Leo forced himself up. His legs shook, but he kept moving. The phantom dragon attacked again, roaring in his face. Leo could feel its heat, its fury. His breath trembled, but he kept walking, inch by inch, until he finally reached the other side. The council murmured among themselves. Even the king seemed impressed. But the final trial was the hardest. A stone platform rose in the center of the chamber, and the council motioned for Aria to step onto it. She walked carefully, touching the center symbol. The stone glowed red. Aria gasped and suddenly collapsed, her curse burning inside her again. Leo rushed forward, but two guards stopped him. "Your final test," the council declared, "is to heal her again, but the curse has grown stronger. If you fail, it will spread. If you succeed, you prove your power is real." Leo's heart hammered painfully. He looked at Aria on the platform, trembling, her breath thin. Her eyes met his, full of pain and trust. "Leo, please," she whispered. He pushed past the guards, falling to his knees beside her. His hands shook as he touched her arm. At first, nothing happened. The curse was too strong, too wild. Her skin felt like burning ice. Leo closed his eyes. He remembered the first time he helped her. The fear, the hope, the feeling that he could not let her die. "I can do this," he whispered to himself. "I won't let her go." Slowly, warmth spread from his palms. The blue light returned, brighter than anything before. The entire chamber filled with it. The platform stopped glowing red. Aria's breathing steadied. Color returned to her face. The curse retreated and vanished. Aria opened her eyes. Leo felt weak, almost collapsing, but she grabbed his hand tightly. The chamber went silent. One of the elder council members slowly stood up. "The boy can heal the royal bloodline. This power has not been seen in centuries. He is not a threat." Another elder added, "He is a gift." The king rose from his throne. His voice was loud and clear. "Leo has passed every test. From this day, he will remain under royal protection, and he will stay by my daughter's side." Aria smiled, relief washing over her. Leo finally allowed himself to breathe. For the first time since entering the palace, he felt like he belonged. But deep in the shadows behind the council seats, a hooded figure watched the scene with cold eyes. The curse had been broken, but the war around it was only beginning. And Leo, without knowing it, had just stepped into the center of a much bigger danger. Days passed quietly after Leo's trials, but the peace felt thin, like a weak thread ready to break. The palace guards walked with extra tension. Servants whispered more than usual. Even the air around the royal halls felt heavy, as if something unseen was watching. Leo didn't understand the reason at first. He spent most of his time near Princess Aria, helping her recover. Even though he healed her curse, her body was still weak. She often sat near the palace gardens, breathing the fresh air, while Leo fixed small machines or told her stories from his workshop days. They laughed sometimes, and for a moment, they felt normal. But that normal feeling never lasted long, because the people in the shadows were planning something. Deep under the palace, in a secret chamber lit by blue fire, the hooded figure who watched the trial stood before three others. Their faces were hidden, their voices low and cold. "The boy is more powerful than we expected," the first figure said. "He should have died during the trials," another hissed. "But the princess protected him." "It does not matter," the third one said calmly. "If the princess stays alive, she becomes a danger to our plan. And the boy, he has magic that can stop everything we worked for. Then we remove them both." Above them, in the palace garden, Leo suddenly felt a strange chill. He looked around, confused. "Are you okay?" Arya asked softly. "Yeah, I think so," he said, but the uneasy feeling didn't leave. That night, a meeting was called in the king's throne room. The king, queen, council, elders, generals, and advisors all gathered. Leo stood at the end of the hall beside Arya. He fell out of place, but stayed close to her for support. A guard stepped forward with a report. "Your Majesty, there have been unusual movements near the outer borders. Signals from unknown groups. Our scouts believe someone is gathering forces." The king's face turned serious. "Do we know who?" "Not yet," the guard said. "They hide well." The room filled with murmurs. Arya glanced at Leo, worry growing in her eyes. Queen Lorana stepped closer to the king. "This is not normal. Whoever cursed Arya might be preparing for another attack." The council elders nodded in agreement. "The healing of the princess might have pushed our enemies into desperation. They may strike soon." Leo listened quietly. His hands tightened. For the first time, he realized the truth. He wasn't just a mechanic helping a princess. He was part of a war he didn't understand. Later, as Leo and Arya walked back to her chambers, she spoke softly. "You don't have to stay close to me if this becomes dangerous." Leo looked at her in shock. "What? Of course I'll stay." "You came from a simple life," she said gently. "You didn't choose this fight." Leo shook his head. "Maybe I didn't choose it, but I choose you." Arya stopped walking. Her breath caught. Her cheeks warmed slightly, but she said nothing. Instead, she gave him a small, grateful smile. But far away, near the edge of the Dragon City, danger was already moving. A group of hooded riders arrived on dark creatures that had wings like torn leather. They carried a sealed message. "Begin the plan," the leader ordered. "Target the princess first. The boy second." Inside the palace, Leo felt restless again that night. Sleep did not come easily. When he finally closed his eyes, he dreamed of fire, shadows, and Arya's voice calling for help. He woke up sweating. Something was wrong. He ran through the halls, ignoring the guards who called out to him. When he reached Arya's door, he froze. The guards outside her room were unconscious on the floor. Leo's heart jumped in fear. He rushed inside. Arya was sitting on her bed, breathing fast, her body trembling. A dark mist circled around her. A hooded assassin stood over her, raising a glowing red dagger. "Stop!" Leo shouted. The assassin turned toward him, surprised. "You again!" Leo ran forward, but the assassin threw a blast of dark magic. Leo fell back, sliding across the floor. His shoulder burned painfully. Arya tried to stand, but the mist weakened her. "Leo, help!" Leo pushed himself up. The blue light inside him flickered but didn't ignite. Fear held it back. The assassin lifted the dagger again. This time, no healing can save her. Leo's fear changed into something else. Anger. His hands shook, and he felt the familiar warmth rising inside him. The blue light burst out, brighter than before. It wrapped around him like armor. The assassin stepped back, shocked. "Impossible." Leo raised his hand, and a wave of blue force hit the assassin, throwing him across the room. The dagger fell to the floor, cracking the tiles. The assassin staggered to his feet. "The council should have killed you when they had the chance." He vanished into dark smoke before Leo could reach him. Leo rushed to Arya and held her gently. The dark mist around her faded once Leo touched her. Her breathing slowly calmed. "You saved me again," she whispered weakly. Leo shook his head. "I won't let anyone hurt you." The room filled with guards and the king and queen moments later. They saw the injured guards, the broken floor, and Leo holding Arya safely. The king's expression changed from shock to anger. This is no longer a hidden threat, he said. Someone inside or near the palace wants our blood. Queen Lorana placed a hand on Arya's head, her voice trembling. They will not stop. Leo stood, still shaking. Who are they? Why are they doing this? The king looked at him with a grave expression. They are called the Shadow Scales, a group that believes the royal bloodline should fall. And now they want you too. Leo felt the weight of those words settle heavily in his chest. He wasn't just part of the danger. He was one of the targets. And the war that waited in the shadows was about to come for all of them. The attack on Arya changed everything. After that night, the palace no longer felt safe. Guards doubled their patrols. The king held urgent meetings every morning. The queen barely slept. And Leo stayed close to Arya at all times. Not because he was ordered to, but because he wanted to. But danger still moved around them like silent smoke. Arya was recovering slowly. She could walk again, though she still leaned on Leo sometimes. Whenever she felt weak, Leo stayed beside her until her strength returned. Their bond grew without either of them needing to speak about it. One morning, the king called Leo and Arya to a private room. His face looked tired, but his eyes were sharp. The shadow scales will strike again, he said. They failed once, but they will not stop. Arya stood straighter. We need to face them. We cannot hide. The king shook his head. Arya, someone wants to erase our bloodline. You must stay protected. Then he looked at Leo. And you are the key to stopping them. Leo's chest tightened. I'm not a warrior. I'm just someone who fixed machines. You healed a curse no dragon could heal, the king replied. You survived the royal trials. You fought an assassin with raw power. That is not something small. Leo didn't know how to respond. He had never seen himself the way the king described him. He never imagined he could be important in a fight like this. The queen stepped closer. We want to give you a choice, Leo. You can leave the city with guards for safety. You will be protected far from here. Arya's eyes widened. What? No. Or, the queen continued, you can stay and stand with Arya and our empire. But if you stay, you must accept the risk. The shadow scales will hunt you. They will try to use you. They may even try to kill you. Leo looked at the floor. It was a heavy moment. One choice would keep him safe. The other would pull him deeper into danger. Arya looked at him quietly. Her voice was soft when she finally spoke. You don't have to stay because of me. I don't want your life to be ruined. Leo raised his head. My life? Arya, my life changed the moment I met you. She blinked, surprised by the honesty. He continued, voice steady. I can't leave you. Not when someone is trying to hurt you. Not when they're trying to destroy something you care about. Arya's eyes warmed. The king and queen exchanged a knowing look. Leo had made his choice. Later that day, preparations began. The council planned to move against the Shadow Scales hideout. Spies had tracked their location near the mountains, an old fortress hidden by dark magic. A team of elite warriors would go. Leo and Arya would join them. Arya insisted on fighting. The king tried to stop her, but she argued calmly. They attacked me. They attacked the one who saved me. I will not hide in a palace while others risk their lives. The king eventually agreed with a heavy heart. Before the journey, Queen Lorana visited Leo. You are brave, she said softly. Brave in a way most warriors are not. Leo scratched the back of his neck. I'm just trying to help. That is true bravery. The queen placed a small metal band in his hand. It had glowing lines carved into it. What is this? Leo asked. A focus band. It will help you control the light inside you. Your power responds to emotion. This band will steady your mind. Thank you, he said gratefully. Night fell when the team left the city. The winds were cold. The sky was full of stars. Leo walked beside Arya, their steps matching without effort. The journey was long and silent, filled with tension. When they reached the mountains, they saw the fortress, dark towers, broken walls, and swirling shadows around the entrance. It looked like a place where sunlight never existed. The captain whispered, "Be ready." As the team spread out, figures stepped out from the shadows. Hooded, cloaked, eyes glowing red. The shadow scales. One of them pointed at Arya. The princess arrives at last. Another pointed at Leo, and the boy who ruined everything. Arya stepped forward. Your fight is with us. Leave my people out of this. The leader laughed. Your people will fall with you. He raised his hand, and dark magic shot toward them. Leo moved before anyone else. The light inside him flared bright, forming a shield around Arya and himself. The attack hit the shield and shattered like glass. The shadow scales froze. This is impossible, one whispered. No human can do this. Leo lowered the shield. His heart beat fast, but he stood firm. Maybe humans can do more than you think, he said. The battle began. Warriors clashed with assassins. Magic crashed against light. Shadows struck from every direction. Arya fought with strength she hadn't shown since the curse. Leo stayed beside her, protecting her whenever dark magic came close. At one point, a shadow creature leapt toward Arya. She stumbled. Arya! Leo shouted. Without thinking, he used the focus band. The blue light burst from him in a wave that pushed every enemy back several steps. Even Arya stared at him in awe. Together, they fought their way to the leader. You cannot stop us, the leader growled. The old world must fall. Arya stood beside Leo, her wings glowing faintly. Then we'll build a new world without you. The leader attacked with all his power. Leo met it with his own. Light and darkness collided. The air shook. The ground cracked. Arya added her fire to Leo's light, and together, their power overwhelmed the leader. He screamed and dissolved into smoke. The other shadow scales fled in panic, their confidence broken. The battle was won. As silence settled over the mountains, Leo and Arya stood close. Their hands brushed, and neither pulled away. Arya looked at him with soft eyes. You chose to stay with me. Leo smiled. I'll keep choosing you. She rested her forehead against his. Then let us build a future together, she whispered. At that moment, the first light of dawn touched the mountains. Two figures, one human, one dragon, stood side by side, a choice made by both, and a new future beginning.